Hey, Uncle Andy, can we go out tonight?
On your own?
Yeah.
I don't think so. You know, we're in Slovakia. Have you seen Hostel and Hostel 2? Let me put it this way. It did not end well for the young American tourists.
While the Hostel movies are fiction, let's talk about the real Slovakia. Bratislava is the capital of Slovakia, which is officially known as the Slovak Republic, and with a population of about 450,000, is the country's largest city. Bordering Austria and Hungary, it's the only national capital that borders two sovereign states. The history of the city has been strongly influenced by people of different nations and religions, namely by Austrians, Croats, Czechs, Germans, Hungarians, Jews, Serbs, and Slovaks. The city was the capital of the Kingdom of Hungary, a part of the larger Habsburg monarchy territories, and has been home to many Slovak, Hungarian, and German historical figures. In 1809, Napoleon and his army bombarded the city. The city received its contemporary name in 1919. Beforehand, it was mostly known in English by its German name, Pressburg, as it was long dominated by Austrians and other German speakers. After World War I and the dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Slovaks and Czechs established Czechoslovakia. A separate First Slovak Republic existed in World War II as a client state of Nazi Germany. In 1945, Czechoslovakia was re-established under communist rule as a Soviet satellite. In 1989, the Velvet Revolution ended authoritarian communist rule in Czechoslovakia, and Slovakia became an independent state in 1993. St. Martin's Cathedral is the cathedral of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Bratislava, and is the largest and one of its oldest churches. In 1452, the church was completed. However, work continued until the 16th century. It's especially known for being the coronation church of the Kingdom of Hungary between 1563 and 1830. The 279-foot-high spire dominates Old Town's skyline. In 1760, the top of the tower was struck by lightning and was later replaced, but it was subsequently destroyed by fire in 1835 and was reconstructed and topped by the crown of St. Stephen, which is resting on a gilded pillow. The church attained its present-day appearance from 1869 to 1877 after suffering damage by fire, war, earthquakes, and other disasters. This equestrian sculpture was added in 1744. It depicts St. Martin dividing his cloak to give part to a beggar as protection from the cold. St. Michael's Gate is the only city gate that has been preserved of the medieval fortifications and ranks among the oldest town buildings. In medieval times, entry and exit were only possible through one of four heavily fortified gates. During the coronation of 19 Hungarian kings in Bratislava, each ruler would get crowned at St. Martin's Cathedral, and one of the stops following the coronation during the procession was the stop at St. Michael's Gate, where the new king would pledge his king's oath to the archbishop. There are coats of arms on both sides of the tower. The stone one on the other side was put there when the tower was added to in 1511 and 1513. This lead coat of arms was completed in 1758. Built around 1300, its present shape is the result of reconstructions in 1758 when the copper statue of St. Michael slaying a dragon was placed on top of the tower, which is 167 feet high. At that time, documents are stored in the head of the statue, which are added to every time repairs are made. This is 0 point. It shows the cardinal points in the distance of European and other world capitals from Bratislava. Today's Michael's Bridge was built in 1727, and it's the oldest bridge in the city. This area also contains the last remaining stretch of the Bratislava moat. We came upon what seems to be an anti-government protest as people were marching to Grassalkovich Palace, which is the residence of the President of Slovakia. The building was finished in 1760, and the palace was used for various balls and parties of the Habsburg royal court. After World War II, a quasi-government of Slovakia within Czechoslovakia occupied the palace. In 1950, the building was turned into an activity center for school children, but they caused extensive damage to the palace, and the necessary restoration only became possible following the transition from communism in late 1989 with the Velvet Revolution. After its reconstruction in the early 1990s, the palace became the residence of Slovakia's president in 1996. Bratislava Castle is 279 feet above the Danube River. The castle was converted into a Gothic fortress in 1430, became a Renaissance castle in 1562, and was rebuilt in 1649. Under Queen Maria Theresa, the castle became a prestigious royal seat. In 1811, the castle was destroyed by fire and lay in ruins until the 1950s, when it was rebuilt mostly in its former style. Primate's Palace is a neoclassical palace in the Old Town, and it's the seat of the city's mayor. It was built from 1778 to 1781 for an archbishop. In 1805, it saw the signing of the Fourth Peace of Pressburg, which helped dissolve the Holy Roman Empire. The building was reconstructed in 1903. The statues and coat of arms on top of the building represent virtues and civic duties. At the very top is the archbishop's coat of arms and a large model of a cardinal's hat. This large mosaic depicts the supervising of the fulfillment of the Ten Commandments. Old Town Hall is a complex of buildings from the 14th century in the Old Town of Bratislava. It's the oldest city hall in the country, and it's one of the oldest stone buildings still standing in Bratislava, with the tower being built around 1370. The town hall was created by connecting three townhouses, which went through several reconstructions in the course of the centuries. One of its curiosities is a cannonball embedded in the tower wall, shot by Napoleon's soldiers in 1809 during the bombardment of the city. Here's a close-up. Speaking of Napoleon's soldiers, in front of the Cathedral Palace, now the seat of the French embassy, stands a humorous bronze statue of a Napoleonic soldier barefoot and with his hat falling on his nose. As the story goes, his name is Hubert. He fell in love with a local girl and became a producer of sparkling wine. The old Slovak National Theatre building was built in 1885 to 1886 in the Neo-Renaissance style during the time of Austria-Hungary, based on a design by two Viennese architects who designed theatre buildings in 10 European countries. It was opened as the City Theatre in 1886 with an opera by Hungarian Ferenc Erkel, who conducted the opera himself. The church and convent of the Clare Nuns is one of the most highly regarded masterpieces of Gothic architecture in the city. In 1640, reconstruction of the convent in the late Renaissance style was completed. The church closed in 1782 and then served as home for various schools. Today, concerts are held in the church, and the former convent building is an important part of the university library.
back to the hotel and then
Well, the gift shop lady made a good recommendation.
yeah, she did. And then you might as well take the bridge afterward too.
What bridge?
Back there with the, huh? Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Wow.
Look at that, Ruth. It's very cool.